Paul Han, and today I'll be giving a presentation on deadlocks. What is a deadlock? Deadlock occurs when two or more threads are each holding onto a lock and waiting for another lock held by another thread, causing a halt in execution. Let me explain further using the illustration to the right. Thread 1 is holding onto lock 1 and thread 2 is holding onto lock 2. Both threads 1 and 2 need both of the locks to finish its current thread of execution. However, each thread are holding onto the lock that the other one needs, and neither of them are willing to give up the lock for the other. And this is what we call a deadlock. And as you can see, it's clearly something we want to avoid. Let me give an example of deadlocks. Consider we have two construction workers and there is a drill and a leveler. Worker A has the drill and worker B has the leveler. Both workers need both the tools in order to finish their current task. However, neither of them are willing to give up their current tool for the other, preventing both workers to finish their job. Conditions for a deadlock. 4 conditions must hold for deadlock to occur, and these conditions are mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, and circular wait. If any of these conditions are not met, deadlock cannot occur. Mutual exclusion. Threads claim exclusive control of resources that they require. For example, a thread grabs a lock. Relating this back to the analogy from earlier, this would be like worker A needing a drill and a leveler to finish task A, and worker B also needing a drill and a leveler to finish task B. Hold and wait. Threads hold resources allocated to them while waiting for additional resources. This would be like worker A holding on to the drill while waiting for the leveler, and the worker B holding onto the leveler while waiting for the drill. No preemption. This condition states that resources cannot be forcefully removed from threads that are holding them. Relating this back to the analogy, worker A refuses to give up the drill to worker B until task A is completed, and worker B refuses to give up the leveler to worker A until task B is completed. The circular wait condition states that there is a circular chain of threads such that each thread holds one or more resources that are being requested by the next thread in the chain. For example, from the analogy from earlier, let's add a worker C into the mix. So now we have workers A, B, and C, and the tools drill, leveler, and hammer. Let's say that worker A is holding on to the drill and needs the leveler. Worker B is holding on to the leveler and needs the hammer, and worker C is holding on to the hammer and needs the drill. In this example, we have the circular wait condition because there is a circular chain of threads or workers that each need a tool that the other thread is holding on to. And as I said earlier, in order for deadlocks to occur, all 4 of the conditions must be present. So that means we can prevent deadlocks by eliminating any other 4 conditions that I just discussed. Preventing mutual exclusion is a bit difficult because the whole point of mutual exclusion is to prevent multiple threads from accessing critical sections due to shared variables. So that might be a bit difficult. However, we can prevent hold and wait by acquiring all of the locks all at once atomically and executing the code and unlocking all of them all at once. No preemption. We can prevent no preemption by setting priorities to threads and allowing preemption. We can prevent circular wait by introducing total ordering or partial ordering. And total ordering states that can set the order in which locks gets acquired first. So if in the case where there are 3 locks, lock 1, 2, and 3, we introduce an arbitrary rule where we have the threads acquire lock 1 before acquiring lock 2, and acquire lock 2 before acquiring lock 3, and so on. And this way, we can prevent the circular wave condition. And that was my presentation for Deadlocks. Thank you so much.